Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dharam Singh, your host for today's webinar. Uh, you probably know me. I am the PgMP, PfMP mentor, trainer, and guide. I have been doing this for a long time now. Since 2009, I started teaching, and now I have contributed to success of more than 274 PgMPs and around 36 PfMPs. So that's about me. So today we got our guest as Cuitlahuac, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly or not, but unfortunately his video is not working. That's not a good thing to have. That means you have to listen to him and watch me all the time. That's the pressure on me. So anyway, once again, welcome to all of you guys. So thank you for joining this webinar. I'm sure, even though you're not able to see him, but you can hear his voice and excitement in his discussion. So, Cuitlahuac, please introduce yourself.
Yes, sure, Dharam. Hi, everybody. Sorry about the video, and it's not working for any reason. I tried to check before this meeting, but it was working fine. I don't know what happened, but let's introduce me. I am program manager in Cisco Systems, working in Mexico. I had experience working principally in delivering projects of technology. Before I was working in Motorola, working in deliveries of base stations. After that, I started working in Cisco to deliver IT projects like data centers, wireless, and equipment for service providers. So now at this moment, in a few months ago, I take another challenge in Cisco to attend AT&T, the network AT&T. So I was starting with these clients, a very, very huge project. And now it's my new challenge in these years and maybe for more years. But I am here, I am program manager, certificate, PMP, CCMP, another certification, but the more challenge certification that I took is the certification of program manager, and I think this webinar will be very helpful for some people that is thinking to take this very challenge certification.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you once again, and yes, you did join my PgMP group mentoring program, and you successfully passed your exam last year. When did you pass your exam? In November?
In December, Dharam.
December 2019.
Yeah.
So that was just before the new year start.
Yeah.
And well done for your achievement. Yes, I'm very, very proud of you, and looking forward to see more success for you and for the participant share. Okay, so just one, as we know, we are passing through one of the most difficult time of our lifetime, and many of the people, they may say that World War I, two or three were more difficult, but this is for us, it's very, very difficult time where many people have to go through some physical problem, mental problem, financial problem, and there are various kind of the problems you have to go through. Some of the people have to go through. We can't do much about whatever happening around, other than taking care of ourselves, our families, our friends, supporting the system, whatever way we can do by keeping ourselves, social distancing, and whatever we can do from our side. But other thing is an impact of this COVID-19 is not only on your health or mental position, but it can impact your jobs around. I'm not saying it will, but it is likely many companies start making this move. And I hope that nobody from this group has to go through this kind of situation. Only another thing that we can do. Okay, Jay, I got your message. So can you hear me all right? Can you please tell me, Jay? My audio is clear? Okay, so I'm assuming it's clear now. So, or you can't hear me at all. Okay, so anyway, what we can do from our side is to make ourselves more ready, and not only by having good experience, which you already have, but also by having certificate and learning from webinars, learning from each other. So that's what we can do from our side. Okay, perfect. So with no further delay, as the format of this webinar, I have created a group of questions, not specific to the certification, but more to do with how the program management is going to help or helping my guest here, as well as can also help you, and also to deal with the situation we are in. Yes, we will have questions around PgMP or maybe PfMP, but that's you can ask. You feel free to ask during the session. I will try to answer. Cuitlahuac will try to answer the questions, and hope you will find this session interesting and useful to you. So, Cuitlahuac, do you have anything before we get started with our questions?
No, Dharam, I can hear you very well. So
okay,
it's a good thing.
All right. So, Cuitlahuac, you have seen the questions and you know the answers. It's nothing surprise to you at this stage, unless we have a thoroughly question from our audience, which we are okay. So the question I have for you, what has program manager taught you? And reflects about your learning. You can list some of the three things which you did as a program manager. And other question is, what areas you can improve? Sorry, I put too many questions to you. You can start one by one. What you've learned from program management?
Yes, Dharam. Look, in my job, normally I have to engage, to talk with many people. Many of these people are upper management, and in the program manager certification, I think is very oriented to take this conversation with the stakeholders, the very key stakeholders. So you have the experience to do this, but at the same time, you know that you need something else working in this situation, because in the communication, you learn how to do it, but sometimes you need to structure that communication, and this situation give me the opportunity to check in the certification what is the content of the program certification, and I saw that this certification will help me very well in my job. So at this moment, I am sure that this certification will help you very much when you are working with many people, with different people and upper management people, Dharam.
Yeah. If you would you like to list three things which you did really well before PgMP or after PgMP?
Yes, I think the three things was one of them was mentoring to other projects and program managers in my team. Other very important was to avoid conflict between sales and delivery teams. That is a particular situation in my work. And another is execute without authority, because I was working with many PMs working in projects, then I have to lead without authority, because they report. We was working in a matrix environment with PMs, with engineers. So that was the three things, and I think I did well as a program manager.
Right.
Yeah,
thank you.
Dharam.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, feel free to add anything you like to add. It's not only the question. So I have other question for you, and I'm also seeing question coming from audience. So I will take this question a little later, guys, if you can hold for some time. So many program managers hold the title as project manager. So as we know, we are coming from different organizations. Different organizations are calling the project manager, program manager differently. So many organizations are calling even program managers as project managers while you are managing the programs. Is there any real-time impact on the job because of the designation mismatch?
This is very common, Dharam. I have my job title is project manager inside Cisco. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's very curious because I was working as a PM and also doing work as a program manager. And also, in Cisco, we deliver projects. So your job title is considered inside of Cisco, is outside of the services. We sell the projects and the program, and the program manager is part of the sales of the delivery. So in my case, it was very particular because I was working as a PM to deliver project, but as a program manager inside Cisco, inside the work that we do inside Cisco to the company was as a program manager. So this mismatch is very difficult because you have to spend your time in billable utilization, okay, working for the client, and you need to make additional effort to work for the company inside as a program manager. So it's very complicated, and in many works, when you're in many companies, they doesn't consider the one word is for program manager, not for project manager. And one is because they have to pay more money. So they need to consider you as a project manager, but you work as a program manager. And for this reason, I think many of the people that is in this webinar maybe are in the same situation, but yes, Dharam, it's complicated. The company need to be aligned to this kind of roles, okay? And in Mexico, Dharam, it's very difficult because we are only 14, I think so. We are 14 program managers, and we need more because here in the market, the company doesn't know very well this role. They need it, but they doesn't know the role.
Actually, thanks. So yes, it's a very common problem, and I have seen myself when I was working for the corporates. So while I was working as a program manager, I'm doing the program manager role, but the title was project manager. So what we have to see, let's say for the application purpose, if you are submitting your PgMP application, what you have to see that whether you have done multiple related projects. Yes, you may be running multiple projects, but if they are not related, then you cannot call it a program. So the multiple related projects with a common outcome, that is defining you there, that you're running a program. What is called by your organization, it doesn't matter. You may be called as a project manager, PMO head, CEO, director, or project manager, sometimes engineer. Even the engineer role, where you may be running a big $3 billion work, while you're called as an engineer, senior engineer, chief engineer. So it doesn't matter. You need to see whether in your role, you're running multiple connected projects and with a common outcome, and you're realizing the benefits. That's where the definition of program comes. So yeah, doesn't matter. You are running a program while you were called project. So that your company can save some money by not paying you the salary of a program manager. So one of the things what we can do as a brand ambassador for PgMP, or anybody listening here, is educating the organization, because many organizations have no idea what's the difference between project and program management. So the people who understand the program management, you should be talking to your management or guiding your PMO. Tell them that this is the kind of work you're talking to, we are doing at the moment is actually program, and there is a methodology, there is a framework defined by PMI, which can help us to run the program more efficiently. Yeah. So yeah, please talk to your managers, your PMI chapter, local chapters, educate them. Even I'm talking to you, Cuitlahuac, that you should be taking the initiative, educate people in Cisco, and Cisco being a very large organization. I do have many students who have done PgMP. They are from Cisco, they are in San Francisco or other part of the world. So guys, it's up to you, all of us, how are we going to deal with the title difference. So if anybody has any difficulty in putting the application together because of the title, you feel free to talk to me. I will explain how to present your experience. Okay, so let me take a couple of questions here. I can see there are a lot of questions coming. This question from Satish is, I am a PMP. Now I handle multiple projects at the same time, but I'm not confident if I can can take PgMP. What and how you can give confidence to the aspirant candidate? Understand PgMP is very different, unlike PMP. So Satish, as I mentioned to you just now, it is not about the title, it is the work you have done for the organization. These work, you're running the multiple projects, you have to see whether these projects are interconnected or interdependent on each other. What that means is, if one project or one component is delayed, or there's a risk, or there's an issue or the change request, that can impact the subsequent projects or the whole program. That is what we're talking interdependency. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you. So please let me know if you need more clarification on this. Yeah. Okay, so I will take another question, then we'll move to other questions as well. So PMP certification is having very good visibility, but what is your opinion on PgMP? Is it seen valuable in your organization? Cuitlahuac, let's start with you. What value do you see of PgMP in Cisco?
In Cisco, again, Dharam, sorry about the question. What is the question?
And the question is, the PMP, we know the PMP has visibility. There are more than million PgMPs at the moment, and a lot of jobs are asking for PMP. By default, you're expected to have PMP. So, what value do you see in your organization? Is your organization is encouraging the staff to do PgMP, or they are recognizing you being as a PgMP or other people?
Yes, and in Cisco, the job role is there, a program manager. Okay, so in Cisco, there are a big effort to start to get more people certified in program manager. So the very short answer is yes. Cisco has the knowledge of the value about this certification, and we are working to get more people certified. So sometimes you need also to help to other people to do this, because you know the process of the certification is very tough, and sometimes it's very confusing. That is the reason that I talk you program Dharam, because you give guidance very well in this process. So yes, in Cisco, we have the value of the program manager. We know that it's a very good certification, and also we are working to take more people certified. Okay.
Yes, that's good. So yes, so and just to answer, adding a little more onto this. So PMP, yes, we know it is more than million PMPs. Almost every job for project manager, there's a requirement for PMP. So there's a history behind this, Kalyan. Like this was started, PMP was started in late 90s, around 95, 96, I think. And it took long time for PMP to establish its market. So in 2004, 2005, a lot of organizations started recognizing, but still not demanded. But as you go on into 2007, 8, that's where the PMP start becoming one of the required certificates. So same thing with the PgMP and PfMP. Yes, they are relatively new certificates, and these, PgMP was started in 2007, and after how many years, now in 2020, we have 3,100, 3,200 PgMPs. So the requirement from the job point of view, if you do a search on, let's say on LinkedIn, on the job category, you will find, and let's say if you do for US market, you're likely to see around 500 to 600 jobs which are asking for PgMP. So it is not still as the level of PMP, but it is improving as we go further. But for you, you are actually bringing yourself ahead of other PMPs. So let's see there's a job for a program manager, while the company is not asking for PgMP, but you have PgMP and other people have only PMP. So you will be seen more favorable than other PMPs, because you not only have a PMP or your experience, but also having PgMP that will add more value to your eligibility. All right. Okay, great. I can see response from Kalyan. Great. All right. Moving on to other questions, Cuitlahuac. Digital transformation is critical moving forward in future. So every organization at this stage is one way or other way talking about digital transformation. Whether program managers are technology enabler. So as a program manager, you think you are the enabler of this technology, the transformation. What can you share from your experience in the telecommunication sector? So telecommunication, digital transformation, and your role as a program manager, how do you enable this new technology?
Yes, Dharam. So, I was talking that in Cisco we deliver IT projects for service providers, banks, schools, many markets with different technology, including IoT, for example, wireless, artificial intelligence, and other kind of services. Okay. So these companies normally, like a Cisco, enable the digital transformation, because we are working in the last technology used in the day of date in companies. So Cisco, I will talk about Cisco because I work in here about 10 years, so my experience is very is more from Cisco. So Cisco gives a solid foundation for digital transformation with software, process, systems, infrastructure. So during this stage in the delivery of different technology, it's very important that we have a program manager in order to align the strategy of the clients to do different projects. For example, a data center project linked to the wireless project, linked to the IoT project. And you need, as a program manager, to give this visibility to the upper management, to the clients, in order to align these projects to one common benefit of multiple benefits of this project. So yes, in the digital transformation, the program managers are enabled of this because these different technologies need to be aligned to some strategy. So it's a real challenge, and the program manager normally is a key enabled to do this.
Yeah. So as we all know, program is handling multiple projects together, interdependent projects. And digital transformation is, we're talking about whole organization going into the digital transformation. So that means there are many departments, as Cuitlahuac mentioned, has to go through the transformation almost in time. So your job as program manager is to work with various project managers, ensure that they have the right environment. You have ensure that the deliverable, interdependency is managed effectively. So, and also, and you keeping your stakeholders informed about how your transformation happening. So all the learning you have from program management or PgMP will help you to handle your program more effectively. Okay, thank you. So let me take another question from the audience. So, okay, the question is it necessary to have PMP to appear for PgMP? Oh, good. So now we can see you. Great.
Yes, Dharam.
All right. Now,
give me a moment, only a moment.
That's okay. I will take this question. And the question is, do we need to have PMP to go for PgMP? So the straightforward answer is you really don't need it. As for PMI, there's no hierarchy mentioned. So you can be, you may directly go to PgMP or PfMP or any of the certification. But having this, following the path will help you to achieve these certification in sequence and get you the certificate faster. While I mean it's PMP is not must, but it will add value to you. So if you ask me, you are eligible for PgMP and PMP. I normally ask people to go directly to PgMP because there's no point of spending time to learn about PMBOK, which you have to learn for part of PgMP anyway, and you can fast track your PgMP as well. Any point from you, Cuitlahuac, on this? Now we can't hear you. You're mute. Now
you can hear me.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Let me disconnect this.
Okay. Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Dharam. For me, is better to have first the PMP. You need to sometimes in many projects you need to coach or be the mentor to many project managers. So you really need to know the process of project manager, the process of the certification.
is very, very important. And also, a project manager see you like a mentor, see you like another level to work with projects. And me, as a project manager also, I need to look another program manager with the certification that I have, you know. I need to know that they know the process. So yes, it's very, I think it's very, very good to have first that.
Yeah. So there are two things we're talking. One is how helpful it is to have PMP to go for PgMP, or PMI required to have PMP to achieve PgMP. So there's a clear answer. If the PMI is not expecting you to have a, it's not required by PMI that you have PMP and PgMP, but it is advisable to learn project management concept or PMBOK or PMP before you go into the PgMP. Anyway, so you can, if you have any questions related to that, please come and talk to me. I will be more than happy to discuss about that. All right, Cuitlahuac, I have other question for you. What kind of hardship do program managers face during implementation of standardization of program manager process? We're talking about standardization or setting up program manager processes. So I'm asking this question because you're probably involved in some of the setting up PMO or standardization. You got the question?
No.
So I'm asking.
Something was wrong here. Now, repeat the question, please.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So I'm asking, let's during the implementation of processes for standardizing the program management, what kind of hardship or problem do you face to set up new process? Did you have done anything? Were you involved in any standardization of the processes, or maybe if you're not, that's fine.
Sorry, Dharam, because I had something wrong in my.
Okay. No worries. I can.
No. Okay. Yes. Please repeat, because I lost some information, so
yeah.
I need to be very sure about the question.
Yeah, let me ask it again. So what kind of hardship do program manager faces during implementation of standardized program management process?
It didn't work to standardize. I only, there is a standard in Cisco internally. We have the standard for delivery projects, and there are people working in the day-to-day to making this process about projects and programs. So we have a very good PMO, and we only need to follow that process, Dharam. But you can do also another process depending of the program that you are working, because not all the processes are aligned to the client process, for example, and you need to adapt that process to make a successful delivery. So unfortunately, we have the basis, but you can work to change something that works fine for you and for your client to make more value in the delivery.
Okay, moving on to next question. Organization heavily focus on process side of change. It does not address the human element. Okay, process versus human element. How program manager handle this situation? Whether it is right for program managers to be called a change champion.
Yes, Dharam. For the human, you need some time to be psychologists in this area.
there are different human behavior than you work during the delivery of program, and it's very important to know the how manage these people, how to engage these people in order to acquire the correct delivery to the client. I am referencing to the client because we work for client. Normally we doesn't work internally in program internally. We deliver the project. So it's very difficult to work with the people in general, with different age, for example. So you as a program manager needs to know very well how to communicate with these different people. So normally you do your best, but you also need to take some training to know how to manage people, because it's a lot of people working for you, and you need to align very well that these people are working to help you to make all the projects done. So I think that people is the more important in the program projects in the company. So you need to be prepared to work with all the kind of people.
Yeah, so that's where the stakeholder engagement, learning from the standard for program and stakeholder engagement will help you to deal with the change you bring into the organization, and how to understand them, and how to understand the expectation, how to mitigate the challenges coming when you're dealing with some of the stakeholders which can be difficult to deal with. So understanding the people side, emotional intelligence, change behavior, all this can be useful during any of the change, any change program. Okay, let me take question from audience. I have done my PMP recently. How much time should I wait to apply for PgMP? To me, you can apply straight away. If you are eligible to take the PgMP, you should go and apply immediately. There's no need to wait. Rather, I would suggest as soon as you do one certificate, look to do another certificate, so that whatever you learn is already fresh. Your mindset is already fresh. Your brain cells are already activated. So adding little more knowledge, you can do PgMP, and adding little more knowledge, you can do PfMP. So all you can do achieve in shorter time. And as you know, a lot of commonality is there. You know, when you talk about project and program, actually it's not a very big difference. If you look them carefully, you are managing at the project level, you're managing activities or work packages, where at program level we're talking about components of projects or sub-programs. But how you estimate, how you manage, how you schedule, and how you build your, do your risk management, pretty much same. The concepts are same, whatever you learn in PMBOK. So, you have learned the concept, and now you look from the bigger picture, or wider lens, and get your PgMP done sooner rather than later. Okay. You have any view on this, Cuitlahuac?
Yes, Dharam. If you are working as a program manager, let's start to apply and take all the process to work with your new certification. So if you are working in this, is fine to do, and it's a real challenge and very good certification.
Okay, let me take another question. Only PgMP book version 4 is required for PgMP preparation, or also you have to go through PMBOK? So actually, yes, while you need to go through PMBOK, Standard for Programming 4th edition, and there's another document which you have to refer as ECO, Examination Content Outline for PgMP, and the third document, and it's very important, PMBOK. PMBOK, you don't have to go start to end, but you need to go through some of the tools and techniques. You need to understand the PMBOK, the way the projects are done, not in detail as you have to study for PMP, but at the high level. High level, you should understand various terminologies, various tools and techniques, such as, Ishikawa diagram, Monte Carlo simulation, Pareto diagram, some estimation techniques. So all these things, whether you're going to see a direct question or indirect question or an option, wrong option, you should be able to pick the answer easily, or you should be able to eliminate the answer easily. So that's why knowledge of PMBOK is very, very important. So as per my observation for last 15, 10, 12, 11 years, I think you can expect around 10 to 15% of questions directly or indirectly from PMBOK in your exam as PgMP exam. Yeah. Cuitlahuac, any suggestion or anything you would like to add?
Yes, yes. You need to know very well the PMBOK because there are some questions in the exam for PgMP. So even you doesn't have the PMP, you need to know the process of the PMBOK. So
yeah. So when you join my program, actually the first session, I do talk about this one page, and I give that as a part of the deliverable, is a checklist, which that means all these items, definitely you should have understanding of that. So especially the tools and techniques, especially the names, wherever you see a name of the person, earned value is the most important part, because you want to see 4 to 5 questions from earned value itself. Okay, moving on to other questions, Cuitlahuac. I think this is your bigger test than your PgMP exam. That's interview. Okay, so let me pick the question number 6 for you. How can a program manager mitigate the communication barriers? So there are, as we deal with different types of stakeholders, there are communication barriers. How do you deal with them? That is considered a significant factor when stakeholder engagements are not met. So sometimes there's some stakeholders are not happy, or they don't want to be engaged, or whatever it is. Did you have any experience where you have to deal with difficult stakeholder, and what did you do to break those barriers?
Yes, and I had a lot of them. Well, my strategy to deal with this kind of situation is normally meet with that people face to face.
Yeah.
Maybe directly, maybe by a video conference, something like that, but you need to do something face to face. Normally, if you try to make an informal communication with some situation like this, you will lose, okay? So the first thing that you need to do is confront a situation like this face to face and try to resolve. If you are only in a phone call, you can expect some very bad situation, because normally the people, if you see the people, you can learn the face, you can learn that words, you can try to manage the communication in the way that then you can make a solution, a win-to-win solution, for example. So the strategy for me then all the time works is meet the people face to face in this situation.
Yes. So I think the best thing is you building rapport with them, and doesn't matter what level they have. They may be utilized, they may be helping you now or later. It's always important to build rapport with them. Spend enough time to understand them and understand their interest, what they want to listen from you, and how they want to listen from you, when they want to listen from you. All these things you should have as part of the stakeholder register, and you should have a stakeholder engagement plan that can help you or guide you or your team to work with these stakeholders. Okay, all right, let's see, we have questions. This question is for you. Okay. Did you face any technical knowledge problem while handling RAN projects to core vast domain projects? If you doesn't have core or vast domain technical knowledge experience, if yes, how you going to resolve it? Do you understand this question?
Yeah, something like if you need something like technical knowledge to work with some situation. In my experience, Dharam, the client, if the clients see that you have some technology knowledge, they respect you, you know. Even
Yeah.
if you know only a little about that technology. My recommendation is you need to work with your internal stakeholder. When you deliver a technological project, you need to understand in the high level the solution that you are working. So you doesn't have to be only the PM that you or the program manager that you move times, you communicate what is happens. You also need to know something in the high level of the service that you are delivering, okay, of the products that you are delivering. So it's very it's very it's very good that you know some technical at the high level, the technical issue that you are confronting. So I has many how to say many projects or programs that the client challenge you in some question to know if you are knowing what you are delivering. So it's good to know or to have clarification from your technical team
Yeah.
about all this your program or projects.
Yeah, that's very well said. So, in my experience, so when I was running a cloud setup for HP back in Australia, uh, prior to this particular cloud in program, I have not done any cloud thing. I have no idea about cloud. Yes, I was able to spell cloud properly, but other than that, I have no idea at all. I was selected because I did number of data center projects and programs, and but I have no idea about various technology. They were technical challenge. But what I did spend some time with the network engineers and the server engineers to understand the high level information at least. So that when I'm in front of my stakeholders, at least I can understand. I can understand their concerns around that. Or sometime I was taking some of the SMEs with me in a steering committee meeting. So because I don't understand, at least I have an expert who can translate in the technical, or maybe he can talk on my behalf. That can be useful as well. So technical knowledge is good to have, but it's not always mandatory. But you still need to have domain knowledge, which can help you to understand the stakeholders' concerns and deal with or talk to some of the specialists or engineers. Great. Okay, so questions I have. Lack of clarity in strategy lead to failure in execution. So if you don't understand the strategy alignment, so sometimes that can be challenged, especially when you're executing a program. Upon a strategic failure, who is more responsible? If we failed at the strategic level, who should be blamed for that? Okay, that's an interesting question. Is it the top management or the professional who are in the program or project portfolio level? Who should be blamed? So should we blame anyone?
Well, in the standard, if you read all the information very well, there is a responsible. Is normally the sponsor, but it depends. Okay, you need to have all the clarification about the strategy from our sponsor, but also you need to share this strategy from you to the project or to the program. So where the change is broke is if you didn't communicate very well this, the problem is from you. The problem is from the program manager. So you need to confront this situation. But if you doesn't have very good clarification about the company strategy in order to have this information top down from the stakeholder to you, maybe the sponsor to you, maybe the sponsor is the responsibility for this. So it's dependent. There are many questions about this in the test, Dharam.
Yeah.
You know, there are some situations that you need to understand who was the problem. It was the program, it was the project manager, it was the sponsor, if something in the company strategy change. So it's very important to identify where you are working and what are your responsibilities as a program manager. What are the responsibilities as a PM and also as a sponsor? So it's complicated to know where is the problem, but the responsibility can be from all of the leaders of the program. Okay, can be the sponsor, can be the program manager, or maybe can be the PM. Normally, at the level of the strategy is PM, program manager, and sponsor. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, very well said. So actually, the strategy, how it is driven from top down, and how it's embraced by the portfolio program manager. So actually, it's driven from top down level. So this organization change, let's say, because of COVID, a lot of organization has changing their strategy. So as a program manager, you may not be able to accommodate immediately, but your portfolio manager or sponsor will come and discuss with you. Look, there's a change in strategy because of COVID, and because of this, we have to do this and that. So that's the strategy change. You know, you have to work as a program manager. You have to work with the portfolio manager and this program sponsor to understand and accommodate those changes, and provided make sure whatever change you make, you are having a change request. You follow the change request process as well. That's very, very important. Okay, so let me take question from audience. I'm a lead in my team and PMP certified, and I have a team management and program management experience, but never managed related projects simultaneously. Okay, as per the designation also, and I will get first project manager, later I get program manager designation. Do you think PgMP will beneficial to me at this stage? So one is you're talking about you are running multiple projects, but they are not related. If they are not related, then it will be difficult for you to justify experience for PgMP. For PgMP, it's very clear that the projects you are managing have to have interdependency among them. Okay. So, but yes, having knowledge of having knowledge of program management will help you to take the new role as a program manager. So even if you are not eligible for PgMP at this stage, you can learn from the standard for program management 4th edition, the various concepts about program management. And some of the people actually join my class. They clearly say that I'm not eligible at the moment for PgMP, and probably not for next 2 or 3 years. But why I want to sit in your class is to learn the various concepts of program management, which can be useful when I'm taking on this new role. So PgMP or no PgMP doesn't matter, but you can create your path. You can build your roadmap based on the learning you're going to have from PgMP or learning from PgMP. Okay. All right. So moving on to your questions, Cuitlahuac, what's the main difference between project level communication and program level communication? Do you
The
feel any
difference
difference?
is for me that okay, there are difference. One of them is the quantity of stakeholders in different levels of communication. Normally, the program manager brought in more stakeholders and more key stakeholder and upper management. So the communication is more global. The communication that you need to do is in very high level normally, but also you need another kind of communication with the PMs, so that are working in your program. So the main difference for me is the quantity of stakeholder and also the responsibility of the key stakeholder that have in order to make the program successful. So it's important to know that you need to work in different communication style. For example, you need to know very well your stakeholder. You need to analyze this stakeholder, and you need to plan how to communicate to all these stakeholders. So that is the more for me it's the ones that you have to do. Okay, to communicate and try to analyze to these people in order to have a very good communication with them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's right. So program level, your audience can be different. You're talking to the beneficiaries, you're talking to the senior leaders, you're talking to the PMO, client, same time project level, but as a program generally are larger in size, budget and maybe duration. So you have to make sure your stakeholders are well informed about whatever is happening in the program. Okay. So asking you a question related to a journey, PgMP journey. When did you thought that you wanted to do PgMP, and how did you start your PgMP certification journey?
Okay. Well, like many people, sometimes you doesn't know that you are working in something like a program. Okay. So to start, you need to start reading the standard of program management. That is, for me, the first step is to learn the SPM. Okay. And you have to understand very well if you are working in that way. Okay. If you feel that you are inside of this process, you can start work to prepare for the certification. Okay. But for me, Dharam, I normally all my certification, I didn't get any guidance. Normally, I talk the standard like the PM book and start reading and doing all from myself. Okay, but for this certification, it's not too simple, Dharam. It is something is difficult here because you need to have some clarification, some guidance from the beginning in order to make all the process there. Okay, and for me, one very good situation in when I contact you for this certification. One is the guidance, okay, to start working for the certification. The clarification of the process is very good to have to know very well how how will be this process, okay? Tips to make the application. You know, Dharam, for me, that my application was returned, and you know, yeah, I was very worried about to lose the application, and you give me that guidance to work again with the application, and we can make it happen. And also, how to say, how you have to study for this certification, okay? So for me, the key successful for me was plan for this certification in timeline, what I had to do, and also the training that you give me, the documentation, the tips, you know, also to know Dharam has a chat, a very big chat with many people certified, many people working in the certification. You can learn so much from these people, okay? So I can say you need help to do this certification, okay?
Yeah.
Dharam is not paying me for this, it's for sure. I want to let you know that Dharam doesn't pay me anything, but was a very good experience in this. And also I can tell you that Dharam is there all the time. Also, maybe we will start working from portfolio management. Maybe, I don't know yet, but it's another step, and Dharam is pushing me to have this, and it's very good. So yes, Dharam, it's important to get help. Maybe not from you. No, I don't say that must be you, but yes, you need to I don't know, work with other people to get more information, planning when you want to do your certification, make a plan. Every people think different. Every people has time available in different ways. So the only one I want to say, just start working with the certification is a very good experience. It's a very good certification. So only start working in that. Okay.
Yeah. Good. Thank you very much, Cuitlahuac, for your kind words. And yes, you clearly identify. I didn't pay you anything for saying good thing, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for selecting me as your mentor. And I always, feel honored about that. And I feel good that when I can add value to my student and they not only pass, they become successful in their life. That's the thing I feel good about. So thank you. And so while we are over time, I do have lots of questions. I don't know if you want to continue and people want to stay here for some more time. So I have a few more questions. If somebody's saying yes on the chat, we'll have another 10-15 minutes to talk about some more questions. In the meantime, let me see. I can see a few questions here. How did you manage the project for EX? If it doesn't have technical knowledge in particular domain. So you say, how do you manage a project when you don't have the technical knowledge?
It's a question for me.
Yeah, you can take that.
Normally you tech lead can give you the high level knowledge. You doesn't need to be very technical to deliver project, but you do need to know what are you working or what are you delivering. So it's not a difficult thing. If you like to be technical, if you like to have technical certification, it's very good to start. That I am CCMP and I have the certification up to date. So it depends of you if you want to go deep in technical information.
Yeah, especially if you don't have technical expertise in that domain, it's not only, you're not the only person working on the program. You have other technical people in your team. So make sure you talk to them, you work with them, you learn from them. And maybe may not go into too detail, but you have to learn. And sometimes the technical people, they don't want to share knowledge with you because they get fear. You know, if you learn, then their value will be not there. But you need to keep them and show that, okay, while I cannot learn what you have learned in your last so many years of experience, I just want to know enough so that I can talk to the team, I can talk to my stakeholders, and give them enough, respect, and take them with you if required for some of the technical meetings where you can't explain, they can explain on your behalf. Yeah, good question. Thanks, Cuitlahuac. So let me jump to one more question. What can aspirant expect for the careers if they take up the certification under current global circumstance? So we know that we are passing through very difficult situation of COVID. Having learning for program management or having PgMP, what can you expect? What, in terms of career point of view, or maybe managing your program point of view?
That's question for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially with respect to the COVID we are going through, how the program management can help, or PgMP can help.
Yeah, in these times, the delivery of projects are more complex. Okay, that need to be managed to be managed in the coordinate way, and that comes from the program management delivery. What I say? The project normally you have to separate different projects because the complexity of the delivery, and you start working in every project, but many times you doesn't have the visibility of other projects, and you are working in different ways to do one objective. So now many companies know that they need to work with all these projects in one's program. So it's very important first let it know to the companies that sometimes you need to create programs from some projects, relational projects. So if you have knowledge about the program management, you can explain to the company how to do this. You doesn't have to wait until the company knows how to do it. You can be that person that you push to have this program, push to have these roles. So you doesn't need to wait. You only prepare, make your certification maybe, and try to do this for your company. Okay.
Good. Yeah. So especially in this situation, COVID, organization changing the strategy. So you need to accommodate as per the strategies, change of strategy. So you need to work with your management, be accepting the changes as and when things are happening.
And also, for example, in this problem about the COVID, okay, if some companies doesn't have, for example, the infrastructure to have the something like webinar, WebEx, VPN, security for that VPNs. There are a lot of components to do that, to help to the company to work from home office, for example. And all these pieces have their own projects, okay? But all this is for one reason, to make the home office to can work in the distance, okay? So after this situation, for example, we will have many projects working as a program. It's a very good opportunity for many people to raise their hands and say this can be do it in the program way. So it's a very good opportunity in this time, Dharam, to start working with the companies with some project as a program.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's have a one more last question. I do have lots of questions, but I think it'll take more time. We might record them later on, and people can watch them as a YouTube on YouTube channel. So we may do that separately. But before we finish today's session, let me ask one last question. What is your advice to the aspirant, PgMP aspirant, and why they should pursue PgMP?
Why I pursued the PgMP? Is that the question?
Yeah, why they should pursue? Yes, you got it. You talked about your journey, but what are you advising to the aspirants who are thinking of doing PgMP at this stage, or that's still considering?
Okay, what I will share with you what I did to do this. First, you have to put a date, okay, to have it, the certification. That will be your goal, okay? You need to plan your study, okay? Many people have all the time working, but you can have a little window to work. For me, it works very well. I put in my Outlook 1 hour every day to study in that hour. For example, at 6 p.m., I power off my phone, I power off anything, and I start working to study, okay? Try to understand how you need to learn, okay? Every people learn in different ways, okay? Try to find how you can learn more, how you can take that knowledge in your mind and work in that way. For example, for me, the mind maps worked very well for me. Maybe another people can work with that. Make a lot of tests, okay? If you make that the exam preparation exam, you can know in which domain you need to work more, okay? And take this challenge not with worries. Take it in a fun way. Taking in the challenge for you. Take your time to do this. Talk with your family because you need some time also in the weekends. So let's start working in this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you, Cuitlahuac, on this. So it's a very useful feedback. And to the people listening, I'm not traveling at the moment, but I'm staying in my garage where I'm sitting at the moment. But I have started number of virtual boot camps, whether PgMP boot camp or PfMP boot camp. I still have a group mentoring program and personal mentoring program, so I can help more people where even if you can't travel, while sitting in your garage or maybe your living room, you can learn from me and you can pass your PgMP PfMP exam in your shorter time. So I do provide lots of material, including application support, including the recordings. I am also providing recording of the class which you want to join, so that you can keep learning from them until you pass the exam. So this is a very informative session. Let me see if there are any more questions left. Yeah, so people, one more question I think. If I study for the program management guide only, can I pass the PgMP exam, or I need additional material? I'll leave Cuitlahuac, you like to say, take this question. If you just read PGM and the SPM book, or is it enough?
For PMP or program?
PgMP, you're talking PgMP.
Oh, you need more resource, definitely. You need to have more information. You need to work with more information, including in every topic that you talk in the standard of the program manager. You need to go deeper in these topics because you need to understand very well. You know that the book is light, is not so much information, but every information that are in the book is important. That is the challenge of this standard. So yes, you need PM book, you need the standard, you need to get more information from other books or others, how to say, methods. Okay, so you have to expect to find more information in other biography. So no, it's not enough. Not enough.
Yeah, so standard is very thin book, around 150-page book. Yes, you can read it, 5 times, 10 times. You may feel confident, but it's not enough. As Cuitlahuac mentioned, that you need to assess your readiness. You need to do mock exams, and you need to go through, learning process. Like, if I do take my program, I do provide the challenger, question bank, the pathfinder, the way to read the task, and I also provide the recordings of the previous program and path in the next program, and also have mapping workbook. So there are not just reading book is enough, but learning from the other people, like these kind of webinars can be helpful, and learning from people like me, not only me, but there are other people as well. See who is the best mentor. The main thing is when you're selecting a mentor, you need to see if you have frequency match. Okay, yes, there can be budget constraint, there can be other constraint, but you need to see if I'm working with this person, will I able to reach my goal? Can he understand my pain? Can he be in my shoes and talk to me in that fashion? And that's how you have to go through the interview, talk to people, and learn from their methodology, learn how they will help you in the process. So as Cuitlahuac selected, gone through the process, he picked me, and I think he is happy, and he is in front, sitting next to me at the moment, providing you guidance. And you may be the person, next time you can be sitting in place of Cuitlahuac and sharing your knowledge and experience with other people. So it's a very good journey to take the PgMP itself or PfMP, and you learn a lot, and you become SME and people look to you as a subject matter expert, may not only in organization, but internationally you get some fame, and people connect with you on LinkedIn just to know more about your experience of programming, your experience of PgMP. So my suggestion is you should take the time and learn from other people, learn from webinars, learn from various books, and go and do your journey. Complete your PgMP and PfMP. And yeah, I'm available. You can always book some time with me, and I'm sure Cuitlahuac is available on LinkedIn. You can connect with him. He will be happy to share his knowledge and experience. So yeah, feel free to connect with us. Anything we have not answered in this discussion, and I know there were more questions on agenda item, I didn't cover that, and I apologize for that because I just spoke 1 hour, and I know it's getting more hour from you can be challenged. But yeah, if you feel that something else you like to discuss or ask me or Cuitlahuac, or feel free to book some time with me or with Cuitlahuac, and we like to wish you a happy journey. When a happy journey means PgMP journey, And thank you for taking time out from your busy time. Maybe some people it's a late night for you guys. So whatever it is you spend time, I really hope we have given you enough enough justice to your time and you spend with us. And thank you very much, Cuitlahuac, for your time to make yourself ready and available for sharing your knowledge. I hope people will we got something from this discussion, and stay in touch. I may have to contact you to complete the other questions so that whatever agenda we talked about is still available and people can watch that. But thank you very much. Thank you for your time and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.